The high chambers of the Galactic Council were filled with an uneasy silence. Beings from countless advanced species stood in rows, their eyes cold and judgmental, as they listened to the accusations being made against Earth. The planet that had once been part of the Galactic Union was now facing its darkest hour. At the center of the council chamber, a large holographic screen flashed with data and reports. The leaders of the council had gathered to discuss a troubling matter. Earth's recent actions had gone too far. Their military technology, which had been growing at an alarming rate, was now seen as a threat to the stability of the galaxy. Even worse, the humans had started to make contact with dangerous factions that the Galactic Council had warned them against. Earth is a danger to the peace we have all worked so hard to build. A Xyros leader spoke with a harsh tone. His reptilian eyes gleamed with disdain. Their reckless behavior cannot be tolerated any longer. Another leader, a tall being made of shifting energy, nodded in agreement. They refuse to follow the rules, and their technology is advancing faster than expected. It is time to take action. A murmur ran through the chamber as a tall, silver-haired human representative stepped forward. His face was stern, but his voice remained calm as he addressed the council. We've only ever wanted to protect our people. We've never sought war, nor do we seek to break any agreements. Our growth was inevitable, and we meant no harm. But his words fell on deaf ears. The council had already made their decision. Earth was to be banned from the Galactic Union, its members forbidden from any interaction with other worlds. The decision was final. As the council members began to disperse, a small group of humans remained in the room, their eyes locked in disbelief. Among them stood Admiral Drax, one of Earth's highest-ranking officials. She stared at the empty chairs of the council leaders, her jaw clenched in frustration. "This isn't over," she muttered under her breath. "They have no idea what they've just done." Outside the council chamber, the galaxy continued to turn, unaware that a new chapter in Earth's history was about to begin, one that would change everything. The Galactic Council's decision had come down hard on Earth, but in the shadows, something far more dangerous was quietly unfolding. Earth had been exiled, its future uncertain, but unknown to the galaxy, the humans had been preparing for this very moment. A powerful weapon, one hidden for centuries, was about to awaken. Deep beneath the surface of Earth, in a vast underground complex known only to a few, a team of Earth's brightest scientists and engineers worked feverishly. The air was thick with anticipation as they activated the ancient machines they had uncovered. These machines, lost to history, were far beyond anything the galaxy had ever seen. They had been built by an ancient human civilization, one that had long since vanished, but their technology had been preserved in secret, waiting for the day when it would be needed. Initiating sequence, Dr. Voss, the lead engineer, spoke into the cold silence. Her voice echoed through the darkened chamber as she stared at a holographic display that showed the inner workings of a massive warship slowly powering up. On the large screens around them, the outlines of ships began to take shape, ships that dwarfed anything the galaxy had ever seen. These were not just advanced warships. They were dreadnoughts, machines of unimaginable power, capable of obliterating entire fleets in a matter of seconds. Their weapon systems were far more advanced than anything Earth had ever revealed to the rest of the galaxy. "These ships could level a planet in one strike," said Commander Rylos, the military leader who had been assigned to oversee the activation process. His voice was filled with awe and trepidation. "We've been holding this back for millennia." Dr. Voss nodded, her eyes reflecting a mixture of fear and resolve. "The time has come. The Council may think they've exiled us, but they've underestimated what we've kept hidden. We were never truly powerless. We've always had the means to defend ourselves, and to conquer if necessary." Suddenly, a deep rumble echoed through the facility as one of the massive ships began to rise from its docking bay, its enormous form taking shape in the dimly lit chamber. The ship's surface shimmered with energy as it powered up, its weapons systems humming to life. "Unbelievable," Commander Rylos whispered, watching in awe as the colossal vessel's thrusters ignited, ready to take flight. If the galaxy sees this, they'll know Earth is far from helpless. As the warship's engines roared to life, the walls of the facility trembled. Outside, a darkened sky began to clear, revealing the first signs of a new era. Earth's military might was about to make itself known. The humans had always been resourceful. They had always found a way to survive. But now, with the awakening of these dreadnoughts, they had something far more dangerous, an unstoppable force that would make the galaxy rethink everything it knew about Earth. The ancient machines, long buried in the Earth's core, had returned, and Earth was no longer the helpless, exiled species it had been seen as. Earth had risen, and it was going to take the galaxy by storm. "Prepare the fleet," Dr. Voss ordered, her voice firm. "It's time to show the galaxy what we're capable of." The first dreadnought lifted off into the atmosphere, and Earth's secret weapon was unleashed. The hum of power filled the air as the darkened sky above Earth rippled with energy, signaling that a new chapter in galactic history was about to unfold. The galaxy had just made a dangerous mistake by banning Earth. They had no idea what kind of war machines were now waiting in Earth's arsenal. The sky above Earth shimmered with the fiery glow of the dreadnought's engines as they ascended into space, leaving the atmosphere behind. Below, the planet was in turmoil. The leaders of Earth, once a peaceful species living under the protection of the Galactic Union, now found themselves in the most precarious position imaginable: exiled. But despite the gravity of their situation, there was a shared sense of pride. Earth had always been underestimated, and now they were about to prove that their might had never truly been tapped. Inside the hidden command center beneath Earth's surface, Commander Rylos paced nervously as he monitored the fleet's launch. The enormous warships, sleek, intimidating, and filled with unimaginable power, were now in space. Their next destination, the outskirts of the galaxy. The Council thought they had banished Earth, but they were wrong. "Prepare the fleet for battle," Rylos ordered. "We need to make our move before the Galactic Council realizes what they've triggered." Dr. Voss stood beside him, staring at the readouts on the glowing screens. "We've got the advantage now," she said, her voice steady, though her hands trembled slightly. "These ships, these weapons, no one else in the galaxy has anything like them. Our technology is superior." Rylos nodded. "We can win this. We will make sure the galaxy knows Earth is no longer weak, no longer beneath them." The Galactic Council's shock. Far from Earth, the Galactic Council sat in their pristine, floating citadel, still celebrating the victory of Earth's exile. The decision had been unanimous, or so they thought. The peace had been upheld, and the threat Earth posed was neutralized, or so they believed. The Council leaders were gathering again, discussing the next phase of their galactic peace strategy. They had no idea what was unfolding in the deep reaches of Earth's atmosphere, no clue that the humans were about to strike back with force beyond their comprehension. But that peace would be short-lived. A sudden alert flashed on the Council's vast screens. Unknown ships detected in Earth's vicinity. "What is this?" One of the Council members, a towering insectoid being, hissed. "It's not supposed to be possible." Earth was disarmed. We saw the last of their forces. The room fell silent as a wave of dread washed over the leaders. Then, a more alarming message blinked on the screen. "Earth's dreadnought fleet has launched. Earth's first strike." Back on Earth, Rylos gave the final command. "Open fire. Show them who we are." Without hesitation, the massive dreadnoughts opened fire on their first target, a neutral trade station orbiting the planet. The energy beams from their weapons were unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. The station exploded into a brilliant flare of light, completely obliterated in seconds. No one had seen it coming. The first strike had been made, and Earth's enemies were about to understand the full extent of their mistake. As the dreadnoughts moved forward, their next targets were not just weak installations. They were major galactic ships, ships that once considered themselves untouchable. One by one, Earth's ships began to hunt down these vessels, engaging in fast and furious combat. The galaxy's most advanced fleets were being torn apart by the relentless might of Earth's machines. "Is this real?" Dr. Voss whispered to herself as she watched the scenes unfold on the giant monitors in the control room. The once feared Galactic Council had underestimated Earth's resolve. They had thought that the humans would cower in fear, begging for mercy. But instead, the humans had answered with a show of raw power. Earth's response was clear: do not underestimate us again. A new empire awakens. News of the attacks spread across the galaxy like wildfire. The Galactic Council, still reeling from the shock of Earth's sudden rise, scrambled to respond. The galactic trade routes, once secured by their fleets, were now under constant threat. But Earth was not interested in negotiation anymore. No longer would they sit on the sidelines, hoping to remain unnoticed. They had waited too long for this moment. The decision had been made long ago. Earth was no longer a mere planet in the galaxy. It was a force that had emerged with a vengeance, ready to create its own empire. "Earth has shown us its might," Commander Rylos said, watching the destruction unfold. "The Council will either bow to us, or we will force them to submit. It's time to carve out our place in this galaxy." Dr. Voss nodded. The Galactic Council might have thought they could erase us, but they've just awakened something far more dangerous than they ever anticipated. The age of Earth is just beginning. News of Earth's brutal counterattack spread like wildfire across the galaxy. The Galactic Council, once confident in its decision to exile Earth, now found itself facing a nightmare. They had no idea the humans were hiding such power, such devastation, in their forgotten arsenal. But the Council was not about to let a rebellion go unchecked. They had one trump card left: an elite fleet, the best of the best, trained and ready to crush any threat that came their way. On the massive command ship of the Galactic Council, Supreme Commander Valen stood before a giant holographic map of the galaxy. His sharp, alien eyes scanned the displays, his mind racing as the latest intelligence reports flooded in. Earth's dreadnoughts had torn through neutral ships, and their initial strikes had left the galaxy reeling. The galactic peace was under threat, and it had to be stopped. "We underestimated them," Valen muttered under his breath. His fingers moved across the holographic controls, activating a new fleet of warships designed specifically to take down the threat Earth posed. These ships weren't just any regular vessels. They were the last of the Council's greatest weapons, speed and agility combined with devastating firepower. They were called the Shadow Fleets, and they were feared across the galaxy. "Prepare the Shadow Fleets for deployment," Valen ordered, his voice as cold as the void of space. "This time, Earth will learn their place." Earth's response. The unseen advantage. On Earth, as the galactic fleet prepared to strike, a quiet calm settled over the planet. Despite the chaos that raged above, Earth's leaders were not panicking. They had been preparing for this very moment. The Council thought they could stop Earth, but they had no idea how prepared the humans truly were. In a high-tech underground command center, Dr. Voss stood next to Commander Rylos, staring at a holographic display showing the enemy fleets approaching. They knew the Shadow Fleets would arrive soon, but they had a surprise ready, something the Council didn't expect. Earth wasn't relying solely on its dreadnoughts anymore. They had developed new technology, cloaking systems, stealth weapons, and energy shields far superior to anything the Galactic Council had. "We've waited for this," Dr. Voss said with determination. "We're not just going to fight them. We're going to outsmart them. We know their tactics, their strategies. It's time to turn the tables." Rylos nodded, a sense of confidence growing. "Let's show them that Earth is more than just a planet. They are about to learn just how clever we are." The first clash. Earth's stealth tactics. As the Shadow Fleets moved closer to Earth's defenses, the humans enacted their plan. The dreadnoughts, once thought to be the primary weapon, were now a decoy. The true power of Earth's surprise was hidden beneath layers of stealth technology. The first wave of Shadow Fleet ships entered Earth's orbit, their advanced sensors scanning the area for signs of enemy ships. What they didn't know was that Earth had activated a cloaking field, making their dreadnoughts invisible to the enemy's radar. The ships were sitting ducks, completely unaware that their prey was moving silently all around them. Then, without warning, Earth's stealth fighters and warships launched from hidden bases on the dark side of the moon. The surprise attack was overwhelming. One by one, the Shadow Fleet ships began to vanish in massive explosions, their shields and advanced weaponry no match for Earth's new weapons. "What's happening?" One of the Shadow Fleet commanders yelled as his ship rocked violently under attack. Where did they come from? The answer was simple. Earth had outwitted them. They had become ghosts in space, invisible and relentless, striking without mercy. The Galactic Council's realization. Back at the Galactic Council's command center, Supreme Commander Valen watched in horror as his fleet was obliterated. The reports came in fast, each one more desperate than the last. "They're using stealth technology we've never seen," one of the officers reported, her voice shaking. "The Shadow Fleets are being decimated. We have to retreat." Valen's jaw tightened. For the first time, the mighty Galactic Council was on the back foot. They had made a fatal mistake. They had underestimated Earth's ingenuity and resilience. The humans were not just fighting with technology. They were fighting with the very spirit of survival. How did they hide this? Valen muttered, as he watched his fleet crumble before him. How could they have kept this secret? The answer was clear, though the Council would never admit it. Earth's strength didn't just come from advanced technology or raw power. It came from the human will to survive. And when Earth's survival was threatened, they would stop at nothing to protect themselves. The Galactic Council's once pristine reputation as the ultimate power in the galaxy was rapidly crumbling. Their fleets had been devastated by Earth's unexpected weapons, and with each passing moment, they could feel the scales tipping in favor of humanity. Supreme Commander Valen, usually calm and unshakable, found himself pacing the command deck, his mind racing for a solution. His officers, equally stunned by the devastating loss, whispered amongst themselves. They had underestimated Earth's tenacity and the brilliant minds behind their technology. Now, every minute spent contemplating their next move was 1 minute too late. The humans were striking faster, harder, and more ruthlessly than anyone could have predicted. "We need a new strategy, and we need it now," Valen snapped, his patience wearing thin. "Deploy every remaining warship we have. Prepare the final assault. This time, we overwhelm them." Earth's counterattack, the final gambit. On Earth, the leaders were already planning the next phase of the counterattack. As the Galactic Council's remaining fleets regrouped for their final strike, Earth's forces were prepared. This was the moment they had been waiting for. They had always known that the Galactic Council would come again, but Earth wasn't about to be caught off guard. Dr. Voss, once a humble scientist, now stood at the helm of a vast network of operations, his every command resonating through Earth's military infrastructure. The weapons, the shields, and the stealth technology. Everything was coming together. But now, Earth had one more surprise up its sleeve. "We've been building something," Dr. Voss said to Commander Rylos, his voice calm but filled with intensity. "Something that will shift the tides completely." Rylos raised an eyebrow. "What is it?" Dr. Voss smiled, though there was little humor in it. "The Great Forge. It's time to unleash Earth's greatest weapon. Once activated, it will give us the edge we need to end this war." The Great Forge, Earth's ultimate weapon. Deep beneath the surface of the Earth, in a massive hidden facility, humanity had constructed the most powerful weapon ever conceived. The Great Forge was a vast underground complex that housed an ancient and massive machine capable of manufacturing advanced weapons at a rate the galaxy had never seen before. It was powered by a combination of nuclear fusion and newly discovered quantum energy, making it nearly unstoppable. As the Galactic Council's final fleet approached, Earth activated the forge. A low hum filled the air as the colossal machines inside came to life, ready to produce weapons of unimaginable power. Humanity was not just going to defend themselves, they were going to crush the invaders. The first wave of weapons from the forge was unlike anything the Council had seen before: energy-based supercannons, shockwave-generating missiles, and even planetary shields capable of withstanding the fiercest attacks. Earth had turned the tables in the most dramatic way possible. "Prepare for the next wave," Dr. Voss ordered, as the Great Forge sent out the first batch of weaponry. "We end this now." The battle intensifies. The Galactic Council's fleet was still regrouping, unaware of the new threat that Earth was unleashing. Their ships moved forward, prepared for one final push to eradicate the planet they had exiled long ago. But as they entered Earth's atmosphere, they were greeted with a horrific sight. From the Great Forge, waves of new weapons fired with pinpoint accuracy, cutting through the enemy ships like they were made of paper. Each blast from Earth's super cannons obliterated entire fleets of the Galactic Council's finest warships. Even the most heavily armored ships couldn't withstand the destructive force. One by one, the once mighty fleets of the Council fell apart, each ship disintegrating under the onslaught. The Galactic Council had nothing left to fight back with. Earth had evolved, adapted, and ultimately mastered the art of war in a way they never could have imagined. The Galactic Council's last stand. Valen knew the end was near. His once proud fleet was now a collection of wreckage, drifting through the void of space. The last of the Council's ships fought desperately, trying to regroup for one final attempt at victory. But it was futile. Earth's Great Forge had turned the tide irrevocably. "This is the end," Valen muttered, staring out at the vast expanse of space, where once dominant Galactic Council ships were now destroyed or in retreat. The humans had proven their worth. They had shown the galaxy that Earth was not a place to be forgotten. The Galactic Council had no choice but to surrender, acknowledging Earth's newfound strength. In the end, humanity had not only defended their world, they had declared their place in the stars, not as an exile, but as a force to be reckoned with. A new era for Earth. The war was over, and Earth had won. The Galactic Council, defeated and broken, had no choice but to recognize humanity's rise. Earth had become an unstoppable force, with an empire that would no longer be controlled by others. Dr. Voss looked out from the command center, a satisfied smile crossing his face. "We've done it. The galaxy will never forget what Earth is capable of." Humanity had learned a powerful lesson. Never let anyone underestimate their resolve. The Great Forge, their ultimate weapon, had given them the victory they needed. And now, Earth would stand proud among the stars. As the dust settled and peace finally returned, Earth looked ahead, not just as a survivor, but as a conqueror. And for the first time in thousands of years, they stood tall in the galaxy, ready to face whatever challenges the stars would bring next. The Galactic Fleet was gone. The era of Earth's dominance had begun. After the battle's conclusion, Earth's transformation into an unstoppable force was not just a matter of military might. It was about legacy, ingenuity, and the will of the human spirit. The entire planet had united like never before. What was once a collection of fragmented nations was now a single, powerful empire, a beacon of hope and strength in the galaxy. The humans weren't just defending their home anymore. They were building something much bigger. Commander Rylos stood in the heart of the New Earth Military Command Center. The planet had been forever changed by the war, and humanity was eager to show the galaxy what they were capable of. There was an energy in the air, a sense of pride and anticipation. The stars, once a symbol of distant dreams, now felt within reach. "We've won the war, but this is just the beginning," Rylos said to Dr. Voss, who was standing beside him. "The galaxy will need to know that Earth isn't just a survivor anymore. We are the future." Dr. Voss nodded. "We've already begun plans to extend our influence. Our fleets are stronger than ever, and the Great Forge has given us the ability to create fleets faster than the Council could ever dream of. Earth's future is no longer uncertain. But as Rylos and Voss discussed Earth's future, the galaxy was watching. News of Earth's new empire was spreading like wildfire. Former enemies, once confident in their superiority, were now faced with a terrifying reality. Earth was a force that couldn't be ignored. The Galactic Council in ruins. As the Galactic Council's remnants regrouped in hidden corners of the galaxy, they realized the scope of their failure. They had once ruled the stars with an iron fist, but their influence was now dwindling. The galaxy, which had once feared their wrath, now feared Earth's rising might. Valen, the supreme commander of the Galactic Council, stood in front of his officers. The council was fractured. Their once unified front was now splintered, as former allies began to question whether their leadership was truly worth following. Many were already retreating to the farthest reaches of space to rebuild, while others were considering more drastic measures. How could we have miscalculated so badly? Valen asked, his voice heavy with disbelief. How could Earth have outpaced us in such a short time? The other commanders were silent, their eyes cast downward. They had no answers. The truth was too clear. The Galactic Council was no longer the power it once was, and Earth had already begun to fill the void. The formation of Earth's galactic empire. Back on Earth, the United Nations had evolved into the Galactic Council of Earth. Under this new regime, Earth's military was fully integrated with new technologies developed from the Great Forge. Their fleets, now capable of faster-than-light travel, were exploring distant star systems, offering alliances and protection to worlds that sought refuge from the fractured Galactic Council. But Earth's rise wasn't just about domination. It was about ensuring peace across the galaxy. With its newfound power, humanity set out to help civilizations that had long been oppressed by the older galactic empires. Earth had learned a valuable lesson in the art of war, but they also understood the need for balance. They wouldn't repeat the mistakes of the Galactic Council. Instead, they would build a system where everyone could thrive. Still, the temptation of power was always present, and not all humans agreed with this peaceful vision. Some argued that Earth should take its place as the ruler of the stars, ensuring their dominance over the galaxy once and for all. Tensions began to rise within the new Galactic Council of Earth as different factions struggled for control. Unforeseen challenges. While Earth's rise seemed unstoppable, challenges began to emerge from unexpected corners. Other alien races, some of whom had been watching Earth's rise from the shadows, began to take notice. Many feared what Earth had become. Too powerful, too bold, and too unpredictable. A new wave of enemies, more organized and technologically advanced than those from the past, began to make their move. The first signs of this new threat came when an unknown fleet appeared at the edge of Earth's territory. The ships were massive, sleek, and unlike anything Earth had ever seen. They didn't attack immediately, but their presence was enough to send shockwaves through the Galactic Council of Earth. Rylos and Dr. Voss, along with the other leaders of Earth, knew they could no longer afford to rest on their laurels. The galaxy, it seemed, was far from finished with testing Earth's strength. What began as a new era of peace and progress was now about to face the ultimate test. Earth's dominance in the galaxy had been established, but the real question was whether humanity could maintain it. Would Earth's empire survive the next wave of challenges, or would their ambitious dream collapse under the weight of new, more powerful enemies? As Earth's fleets prepared for the inevitable conflict, the galaxy waited in tense silence, knowing that the true battle for dominance had only just begun. The peace they had fought so hard for was now in jeopardy. A new threat emerges. Unknown to Earth, the alien forces that had begun to gather were led by a shadowy alliance of once feared empires who had been lying in wait, biding their time until the Galactic Council had weakened enough for them to strike. They had seen Earth's rise as a threat, but they also saw an opportunity. The stage was set for the galaxy's next great war, and Earth's fate was once again in the balance. The question now was, would Earth's empire continue to expand, or would it crumble beneath the weight of its ambition? And so, Earth's new chapter began, not as a passive observer, but as a new empire fighting for survival on a galactic scale. The next phase of the story was about to unfold. The universe would never be the same again. As Earth's galactic empire continued to grow, tensions reached a boiling point. The once dominant Galactic Council was now just a memory, its remnants scattered and divided. While the new threats from the galaxy's shadows moved ever closer, Earth's military might had given them an undeniable edge, but it was now being tested like never before. The mysterious alien fleet, which had been silently gathering in the depths of uncharted space, was not a mere group of scattered warships. It was a unified, highly coordinated force, one that had been preparing for this very moment for centuries. This new coalition of alien species had seen the rise of Earth and viewed it as the new imperial power they had to destroy. Their message was simple: Earth must be stopped before it becomes too powerful. Commander Rylos stood in the heart of Earth's newly built War Command Center. The air was thick with tension, every officer at their post, preparing for the storm that was about to break. Earth's new empire was formidable, but they were facing an enemy unlike any they had fought before. "We fought hard to get here," Rylos said, his voice calm but firm. "But the challenge we're facing now is something entirely new. We must prepare to fight not just for survival, but for the future of our empire." Dr. Voss, standing beside him, nodded in agreement. "These aliens have been watching us, and they know exactly how to fight. They're not just coming to challenge us. They're coming to destroy us. But we've got something they don't. We've got unity. We've got Earth's resolve." As the first wave of enemy ships entered Earth's space, a deafening silence spread across the galaxy. It was as if the entire universe was holding its breath, waiting to see what would happen next. The first shots were fired in deep space, just beyond the orbit of Earth's outermost colonies. Earth's fleets, made up of dreadnought-class warships, charged headlong into battle. The human ships unleashed their deadly weapons, their colossal cannons firing a barrage of energy blasts that lit up the stars. The enemy responded with their own advanced weaponry, missiles that split the void in search of their targets. The battle was fierce, but Earth's dreadnoughts proved their worth. These massive warships, equipped with the latest in human technology, tore through the alien forces with frightening efficiency. The enemy's ships were sophisticated, but they weren't prepared for the raw power that Earth's fleets could unleash. However, despite Earth's early victories, it quickly became apparent that this new enemy wasn't going to be defeated so easily. The aliens had advanced tactics, including cloaking technology that allowed their ships to vanish from sensors, making it difficult for Earth to target them. "We need to adapt," Rylos said as reports of the enemy's tactics came in. "These aliens are using hit-and-run tactics. They know how to strike fast and disappear. We can't let them get the upper hand." Earth's military quickly adapted, developing countermeasures to the enemy's cloaking technology. New ships were launched, faster, more agile warships designed specifically to track and destroy these elusive enemies. The galaxy watched as the two forces collided in a series of battles across the stars, with neither side willing to give an inch. Meanwhile, back on Earth, the newly formed Galactic Council was faced with its own challenges. While the military fought valiantly, there were whispers of discontent among the population. Some questioned the high cost of expansion, while others began to fear that Earth's thirst for power might lead to its own downfall. The question on everyone's mind was clear: could Earth's fledgling empire survive the onslaught of this new, terrifying enemy? Was Earth's rise to power the beginning of a new golden age, or was it a fleeting moment in the galaxy's long and bloody history? The outcome of this war would determine the fate of the entire galaxy. Earth, for the first time in its history, was no longer just defending its survival. It was fighting to maintain its place as the supreme power in the universe. As the final battle approached, Earth's fleets prepared for one last, All or nothing strike. The fate of the galaxy hung in the balance. Would Earth's empire stand tall, or would the alien forces be the ones to claim victory? The universe would soon know.